So some biologists are there occasionally. And look at this, in the corner, this is the back of Wainiha. They have a 300-foot tall waterfall called Wainiha. Excuse me, it's Wainiha's Hinalele Falls, excuse me, Hinalele. Look at that. You can see the spring coming out of the water. This is Mount Waialeale's backside. It just comes out from inside the mountain. And there's another waterfall coming off the back that has a neat pocket in here we're going to go take a look at. Bring it around on your side, John. Now look back in here, Keoni, Trish, in the left corner here. Isn't that cool? Now you can see from the center of the island looking out Wainiha. We came over that ridge where the clouds are broke over there. Another helicopter actually down below us. Are you Harry down
there? All the recent rain brought all the waterfalls.
What was that?
All the recent rain brought all these waterfalls.
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? Now I'm going to take you into the crater area on the east side of the crater, Mount Waialeale, and that's a little bit more commonly known area. It's the primary volcano that formed Kauai, and so a lot of people hike in there. It's a very difficult drive and a difficult hike, but it is open to the public. You can see the east coast of Kauai, the sleeping giant on the shoreline there. It takes about 40 minutes to get up on top of that. And the next valley here is going to be Hanalei. This is where they filmed Jurassic World using our helicopter. You're going to be able to see some of that. I mentioned earlier there'll be that carbonate mineral that's kind of a white color on the lava rock. You'll see some here that formed what makes an eye shape. And if you watch Jurassic World, you'll be able to see the eye. From this particular angle that we look at, it might look like two eyes. It'll be down on the right here. Not yet, it's visible. Give it a couple seconds.
I sing this promise. My word is deep as the sea.
Alright, there's the one. You see it down there? It looks like an eye looking at us. That would be the left eye. You'll see that in Jurassic World. And then there's the right one is a little bit harder to see, but see how he's kind of like looking at us. Akaleha Mountain over on the left, and you'd have Anahola on the other side, and Kilauea way out to the left there. I'm going to take you guys up into what we call the gun sight. This is a bite mark in the ridge of Waialeale here. And normally the clouds are slightly below that. Since it's open right now, we might as well go through it. You can see the Twin Falls below you, Justin. Kind of a neat little area.
Now as I contemplate this golden shore, so many riches here, who could ask?
Now when the ancient Polynesians would come here to hike up on top of Mount Waialeale, they'd have to pay their respect to the king and the queen, the ali'i, the royalty first. So they would land on the east coast of Kauai and then hike up these ridges on this side, not taking the Alakai Swamp, which would be a lot more easy to do. As we go by here, look at the ferns that make up the greenery on the ridge here, particularly on the left side over here on Trish's side. Look over here on this, the ferns. Down below us is where they filmed Avatar and Lilo and Stitch. And the crater is on the right. Now I would guess that you've hiked in here before, Keoni, and you can see this is a much easier way to do it.
Yes, sir.
Now you see how this Trish has the white on it? That's what the weeping wall looks like. Then underneath you can see the reddish orange algae. But this is not the weeping wall, but it looks like that without the waterfalls on it.
Oh, is it not accessible at this moment?
Well, if you with Keoni, you guys might be able to get in there. I saw people 6 months ago in there. I haven't seen anybody for 5 years in there. I saw pig hunters 5 years ago. About 6 months ago, I did finally see some people hiking at the Weeping Wall. And apparently, I didn't see them about 2 or 3 days ago. There was guys trying to climb the Weeping Wall, but I didn't see them. That was off that day. You don't get a lot of mountain climbers in Hawaii. The lava rock is very brittle. It breaks pretty easy. You can imagine you're climbing the face and the rock gives away. Look here, see a little landslides? It's not a good mountain climbing material. Better to hike, have trails. And in Jurassic Park, this is where the gate was that said Jurassic Park, right in front of us down here. Now there's two rivers, the Wailua North Fork and the Wailua South Fork, that come together to form the Wailua River. Down on the shoreline there where the light green grass is in between the ridges is where the Smith's Luau is. And they have probably the best food of the big show luau. And the Luau Kalamakua is probably the best show of the big shows, a little bit. But there's all kinds. You have a little bit smaller ones at the various hotels and intimate smaller ones than that. If you've not been to a Hawaiian luau, I recommend those, John. They give you a nice sense of the Hawaiian culture. They have the food, the dancing, the music, the regalia of ancient Hawaii, or the lack of, and also the aloha spirit. Right below us you can see some of the trails the pig hunters use. Did you ever go up into the Waiahi area over here on this side? This is a very famous area for pig hunters. You come in down from the tree tunnel roadway, comes back up in there. And you can see the trails down on this side sometimes. You look carefully there. Now down in front of us here, you can see the South Fork of the Wailua River. Now a lot of times when you're on Kauai here, you can't see that this is a volcano here. This is a Kilohana crater. You can see the caldera here. This is the spillway where the lava room coming out, and then the Wailua South Fork of the river has the inner tubes right down below us here. This is where they float down the river in inner tubes. It's a cool activity. I think if you had to pay $30 for it, to be like, all right, I guess I'm hopping in my Kauai. It's about $100 a person, so it's a little pricey in my book, but it is cool. How often are you here? So you have to kind of gauge if that's something you really want to do or not. But this is where they do that here. They also have the kayaking, which is really neat. And if you have some energy, you can tell them you want to go to the Secret Falls, and they'll tell you where you can park your kayak and walk in about maybe 3 miles. It's about to take about an hour. It will take you to the Secret Falls. You can swim there. You can see the lakes in front of us here, the reservoir. When we get to those lakes, I'm going to turn off the microphone system. So I'd like to thank you folks for flying with us here at Blue Hawaiian Helicopters. I hope you guys had a nice time. Isn't that a cool way to see the island? Hopefully I was find some places you hadn't been. And then we get on the ground crew will open the doors for you. You guys don't have to do that. We have a little service with Aloha. Go to the front of the aircraft first, and they'll be glad to get some photos for you. If you look down below you, Trish, you can see the inner tubes just coming to an end here. See them there? You can see them down below us here, Carla.
That's the backcountry mountain tubing?
Yeah, the tubing enterprise. What they call fluming the ditch on some of the other islands. I'll be right back with you here. I'm going to turn off the microphones. I'll be right back with you.
Blue 59, Clinton Lake, slightly north of the island there. I got a hotel for the mid-pad, and I'm hired him. Facebook travel, Blue 59.
Now maybe 8-9 times in the year you can actually see the island of Oahu from here. If you look straight ahead of us, you can see Eva Beach. We'll go straight to your house for lunch. But it's about maybe 4 inches across. See it out there? Very rare. You can see the south shore a little bit easier there. Now if we were to continue to fly for 45 minutes straight out, takes Oahu, 73 miles. Then there's Molokai, Lanai, Kaho'olawe, Maui, and the big island of Hawaii is about 3 hours out, or 300 miles. Now if you have a good eye, to the left of it you can actually see the island of Molokai today. But that's really hard to see. But it's just to the left. You can see the Wailua Falls on the left from the air. They look small, but they're about 80 feet tall, 8-story building. Take you 12 minutes from our office to drive there. You might enjoy going to there, John, if you haven't been there. Take your wife, family out there. Just a pair of waterfalls. You see them down there? And then up on the left is the east coast of Kauai, Kapa'a, Wailua. I always tell people about the bike rides there. You can rent a beach cruiser bike for $5 and ride along the shore. When you're done, you get a local-style snow cone to shave ice. There's kind of a trend to do the healthy thing right now. So they have one, the Wailua shave ice uses coconut milk and fresh squeezed fruit juice on it. It's not as colorful and it's not the traditional shave ice, so you might want to try one of each. One of you gets one, you can share and try both.